When you think of the term welfare, what comes to mind? Many people often think of physical health as the core component. While health and the absence of disease are important components of welfare, they're not the only ones. An important aspect of welfare that we sometimes forget about is the mental or emotional piece that contributes to human and animal welfare. As humans, we can easily communicate about how we feel by talking about our emotions. But how can we measure the mental aspects of welfare in animals? While it might be more difficult to investigate this in animals, it's possible to understand animal perceptions and preferences through observations and behavioral tests. Behavioral tests can tell us about how animals feel by how they perceive situations, events, and their environment. These tests can also tell us what the animal's preferences for these different aspects might be. Observing animals and their behavior provides insight about their willingness or motivation to perform certain behaviors, such as accessing a certain area of the barn or receiving a certain provision, like food. You may be wondering why it's important to understand animal perceptions, preferences, and emotions at all. If animals are healthy and well cared for, doesn't that mean they have positive welfare? It's true that positive welfare means the absence of negative experiences, like disease or hunger, but it's important to remember that good welfare also means the presence of positive experiences too. To explore this a little further, let's use an example like access to an exercise area for dairy cows. Housing cows indoors can be beneficial and is often necessary for many Canadian dairy farmers, but it does come with some challenges. For example, cows housed in tie stall systems often have less opportunity for movement and physical activity. Allowing cows to have freedom of movement or opportunities to move around freely is often talked about as a positive and enriching experience for cows housed in environments where movement might be limited. Giving cows access to the outdoors or access to a pasture area may be challenging for some Canadian farmers to provide. But there are other ways to provide opportunities for movement, such as providing an exercise area for dairy cows. So what are the benefits of providing cows with an exercise area? Researchers at McGill University are asking themselves this very question. A series of 6 studies have been conducted to understand which characteristics and conditions of access will promote locomotion. Cows were allowed access to an exercise yard in various seasons, for different durations, in different sized exercise pens, and with different levels of human interaction. Researchers used observation and behavioral indicators to understand how the cows perceived access to an exercise area and if they were motivated to access the exercise yard. Results showed that giving cows access to an exercise area increased their average number of steps per day by about 300 steps. In other words, allowing cows to spend just 4% of their day in an exercise area showed an increase in their number of steps per day by 50%. Outdoor exercise areas compared to indoor areas, larger exercise areas, and having more time in the exercise area also increased the number of steps per day by 20, 16, and 9% respectively. Access to exercise not only affects locomotion but also offers various hidden benefits, especially in terms of animal handling. Moving animals to an exercise area requires additional handling, influencing the farmer-animal relationship and exposing animals to new and unpredictable situations. The way cows are handled significantly impacts their ease of handling. Ensuring positive experiences during this process is crucial for ease of future handling. Why is this important to know? Access to exercise, whether it be through outdoor housing, pasture access, or an exercise area, can be used as a source of enrichment and positive experience for dairy cattle. Access to exercise also has health and welfare benefits for cattle, such as increasing locomotion and movement, allowing animals to express natural behaviors, and providing environmental enrichment through exercise. So these results are showing us that allowing cows to have access to an exercise area increases their movement and daily activity. We also know that cows' motivation to access these areas is based on factors such as human interaction. Working towards improving dairy cattle health and welfare through positive experiences is an important step towards enriching their quality of life and fostering positive welfare. Exercise or outdoor access for dairy cows is becoming an increasingly important topic for the Canadian dairy industry, and research will continue to nurture future recommendations in the years to come. Because of the health and welfare benefits of exercise access, this is likely to be an important part of everyday dairy farming in the future. So it is important to think about how farmers can offer more opportunities for locomotion on their own farms. This could include periodic access to outdoor pasture areas, allowing animals to move freely within indoor systems if possible, and considering management practices that allow animals to walk or locomote more often.